So, now Siddhartha and Willi are leaving tomorrow. Huh? So, ask the last question. It's the last occasion you have to ask questions. Yeah.
I want to ask of the Apana Samadhi, is it different with jhana or not? Or, yeah, I just wonder.
Upachara Samadhi is similar to the jhanas, but it's not. I mean, the jhanas are on a higher level, yeah, called absorption. And if you don't get in, then just stay in Upachara Samadhi. Actually, Apana Samadhi is very close to the fourth jhana. You know, there's the Rupa jhanas and the Arupa jhanas. So, I mean, the Arupa jhanas, they have no resemblance to any of the Samadhi. Neither Upachara Samadhi nor Apana Samadhi. They are completely different. But the Rupa jhanas, you can say, yeah. But the Rupa jhanas, I mean, you have to concentrate on the feeling, yeah, that arises through your concentration. But if you go too early, then it's gone. Yeah? But people normally don't get into the jhana, so I mean, don't worry about it. I mean, if you trained it in your last lives, I mean, then you happen automatically, I mean, you don't have to do anything automatically, when you enter Upachara Samadhi, you actually enter one of the jhanas, most probably the first or the second jhana. If you don't, forget it. It comes automatically because you have tried it in the past. So there's no worry, and there's no way how to get it, or no way how to test it out. Yeah, and it is different. Yeah, I mean, if you train it, it's more different. Yeah, and brings much more joy. But it's, I mean, 1 out of 1,000, will have the ability. If you want to train it, it takes 18 years. Very hard training. Very solitary training. Yeah. So, I mean, don't worry. I mean, Upachara and Apana Samadhi is enough. Yeah. We want to get out of the cycle. We don't want to stay in, by training this or training that. Yeah?
I want to ask about sati.
Yeah?
So, yesterday, during one of the sittings, there is one occasion where the body is very restless. I mean, it just keep moving, swaying to any direction. But the mind is at that time really interested in breathing.
Mm-hmm.
So the body moves, but it keeps on the breath, and I just watch. It's like kind of fun. I mean, the body wants to move, but it's like I'm telling, okay, you're restless now, but I'm still with the breathing.
Yeah.
And then after the session ends,
Mm-hmm.
and then I continue to walking meditation. The awareness of breathing is kind of different. It's just like it near the nose, but it's just there. It just doesn't really care about the in and out, but it's just there always. So it's just watching. Just stay there, and you just realize everything during the walking.
You what?
Realize what you are doing. I mean, it's very clear during that moment. Even when in the morning, when it comes again, since it laps after the walking meditation for maybe about 1 hour, and then it laps, it becomes normal again. I try to apply my thoughts again to the breath, and then it comes automatically, like in the dining hall, and doing everything. It just feels right. I mean, you are doing very fast everything. You don't think too much, and the awareness of breathing is still there. I mean, you just keep on the breath while doing things.
Yes.
So is that sati? I mean, sati is always. I know it's very important, but I don't really clearly understand when do I have sati or when I do not have sati.
I mean, you have sati if you know, because sati is nothing else, than this knowingness what is going on. So I mean, if you describe it as I mean, you're very clear about everything. That can be probably sati, yeah. But you have to be very clear about what is going on in the heart as well. I mean, you see something and you see the reaction towards the seeing, and that is sati. That is the awareness that is just aware, and is very objective. I mean, there is no feeling liking or disliking coming in. That is the moment of sati. Yeah? So if there is still liking and dislike come in, yeah, then it's not yet sati. Yeah? It's just more and more. I mean, awareness is not suddenly switched on. I mean, it has different levels. Where you become more and more aware, and that might be probably this. Yeah. And what you notice is, actually, what I say, in Upachara Samadhi, when you're in Upachara Samadhi and your concentration is very firm, I mean, your concentration just sticks at the nose, yeah? But the sati goes back to the heart. So it starts to know the things, yeah? Even if you don't lift your eyes, it knows, yeah? But you sometimes feel it drop, maybe not every time, but you feel it drop, I mean, once you get concentrated, you feel it, like something drops into the heart, yeah? And then you have sati, and then you have the concentration. And there are two different things. So you need to keep your focus, your attention on the tip of the nose, yeah? And on the breath, at the tip of the nose, in order, to develop the sati. But I think this I explained before. Just go on and see, I mean, it should become clearer and clearer. And I mean, the clearer it becomes, the more you don't feel the breath anymore. You can't feel the breath because it's subtle. But you know the breath. And you know it much clearer than you can feel it. Every in-breath or out-breath, you know how deep it is, if it is shallow and so on. Especially when you do sitting meditation. When you do walking meditation, it doesn't become so clear. You need to replace your ears off. Okay?
So I want to ask a follow-up question. So when sitting, for example, and the body wants to move, I think it's like the pain, so it starts to move. what should we better do? Should we restrain the movement or
don't get even interested in the movement. Just stay, because you don't see, the mind can do so many things, not simultaneously, but it has a very good multitasking ability. Yeah? So you think you are, yeah? And that means you haven't reached 50% of concentration yet. And in the other, you're concentrated. In the meantime, between two moments of concentration, something else is going on. Yeah? So what you should do is, and then at this moment when you see or when you notice that the body gets restless, you should put more interest in the Buddha or more interest in the breath. Yeah? And then this restlessness, this moving, stops. Yeah? Or if you're not sure, once or twice you can open your eyes and then see if you're really moving or if it is just an illusion. It can happen, this illusion. Yeah? If you're getting too concentrated, then we can get all sorts of false sense impressions. Did you open your eyes and see if you're moving?
No, but sometimes it's almost fall down, so it's really moved.
Yeah, but that can also happen. You have the feeling that you fall down because your concentration is so strong that the mind needs lots of position information to get the right position. If one of the position information is not coming, or a few of these position information is not coming, you get a wrong impression. When you close your eyes, you know how you sit, because the mind goes around and gets the information where this part is, where this part is, yeah? And that's how you know where you sit, how you sit. Yeah? I think I said that, when you were here. Yeah? Sometimes it can happen that we are so concentrated that we don't get the right information. Yeah? And that, for 2 or 3 times you just open your eyes and see if it is really happening. Yeah? Or if it is an illusion, and then go back. Yeah? And when you notice it 2 or 3 times, it's not happening, the body is completely quiet, then it is an illusion. Yeah? Because your concentration was so strong that it didn't get all the information about the body. The mind needs information about the body, otherwise it doesn't know if it's sleeping, lying down, if it's standing, or if it's sitting. How do we get this information? Huh? It's interesting. At this point of concentration, it is really interesting how the mind works and what kind of information that the mind really needs, for telling us the right position. Okay?
Can I ask another question?
Yeah?
Regarding another about sitting meditation. So, when I remember one of your talks that the body, we have to teach the chitta to know that body is not is different with chitta.
Yeah?
And then when one of the sitting, when I have no like and dislike, I can tolerate the pain. I just watch how the body really wants to move, and I realized that
It's not the body that doesn't want to move.
yeah. I remember your talk, so I always thought, no, this is not the body. This must be chitta that is suffering with the pain, and I keep telling it. Can I, at this point, I consider the calmness of the mind, of the chitta, is reflected in the body. If the body stops the urge to move, it means the chitta is already, okay, finally you give up. I feel like you are using lasso. The mind that is watching is like a lasso. I just watch it move, and then suddenly it starts slowing down. And can I consider that it's getting calm?
How do you not know that it's calm? If it's not moving, it's calm.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
And you will see it, I mean, even if you get calmer, yeah, you will see, and because then you really drop into the heart. And then you see the chitta constantly, I mean, it is very fast, rapid movement. And you see the chitta wants to go out, yeah? But you don't let it go out. And that can take on, you can take hours before the chitta really drops down to apana samadhi. But you just see, you just see a little. But the body is completely quiet because the chitta cannot go out. You don't let it, you have it so firm, your concentration is so firm, that the chitta cannot go out, but it still wants to go out. All these sorts of things can happen. It doesn't have to happen.
Another question on sitting meditation using breath.
Yeah.
I remember one of your talk about controlling and just being aware of the breath.
Yeah.
For myself, breathing has been a difficult subject actually for meditate, since it's very difficult to be natural breathing, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because sometimes I breathe from both, I don't know, with mouth, but I realize when the mouth is slightly open, it is not fully aware, so I close the mouth, focus on the nose, but when it focuses on the nose, then it's very difficult to become natural. So can you give such tips when how do we identify when it is actually just observing and it is still manipulating the breath?
You will also, you have to rely on this knowingness that will actually tell you, yeah? You know it, there's no thought about it. You know that we try to make the breath calm, or, try to make it, smooth or so. Yeah? And in that moment you notice it, then you let go, okay, relax. Just say relax and then go back. Yeah? And then say relax. And it takes, it took me months. Yeah? Because we don't control the breath when we do any kind of activity. But we try to control the breath the moment we sit down in meditation. And that is a difficult thing. The breath has always been very natural, when we do this or when we do that. But the moment we do sitting meditation, the breath becomes, we concentrate so much on the breath, so we want it to be in a certain way. And the moment you notice that you want it, that there's some desire that the breath should be like this or that, then relax, and, withdraw from the desire and just say, okay, the breath is just like the breath is. And this takes a long time, until finally, after some time, it's always me. But it's also our expectation, it's our desire, to get calm. And this kind of expectation or desire tries to manipulate the breath. Well then, you can also try it with breathing in and go with breathing out. Yeah? There you don't have so much to use controlling it. But when you do the breath alone, you control it. And everybody has to go through it. Yeah? It's just, you just say relax, and then go back. When you see, you try to take hold. You see the movement of the chitta. If you're not concentrated, you don't see it. Yeah? But if you're concentrated and if you have developed some awareness, you instantly know when the chitta wants to grasp hold of the breath. And then at that moment you say relax. And then it falls back, and then it tries to grasp again and relax. It will take some time. You don't learn it in a day or in a week. Yeah? You've been here too short, yeah?
I have a problem when usually during sitting meditation, if the mind starts to get calm and calmer, and then there is this desire or craving that yes, I can get calmer, and then suddenly it's gone, right? And then after that, I will want it to go back. I want to experience that again. But then it becomes restless, and then I will spend the rest of the session gone. So, how to overcome this
The moment you see, this desire coming up, just say, there's desire, and then return back to the Buddha. Yeah?
Yeah, I've tried that, but still.
Yeah. I mean, also it's a long time, We will have expectations and we will have the desire to get the results of last time. But tell yourself, it is not important what results we get. What is important in our practice of samatha is just to know the breath or know the Buddha. Yeah? Just to be with the Buddha. How the Buddha is, that's what we want to know. How the breath is, that's what we want to know. I mean, if you know that the chitta is restless, then say there's restlessness, and go back to the breath. Yeah? If the chitta is calm, there's calm. But we don't look for the results. But we are trained in a very different way, every one of us. Yeah? We always want results. But the results only come when we do our work. So, notice, or tell yourself, yeah? How can the results appear, if I don't do my work? And the work is, to stick to the Buddha or to stick to the breath. And that's the same thing, you have to do it often and often. I mean, it takes time, it takes months, it can take years, because this expectation always creeps in. And everybody knows it, every serious meditator knows it. Yeah? I mean, Lungta Mahavira got stuck, for 15 months, yeah? Because he wanted his samadhi back, until he realized, I'm not doing my work, I should do my work, I'm not interested about the results. The same thing happened to me. I don't know how long, but maybe 10 or 12 months, I was also stuck, I want to get it calm, yeah? Try to make it calm. That's not the point. The point is just observing how it is. Yeah? Just like we observe the weather, there we have no problem trying to control it. Yeah? I mean, okay, today it's cloudy, today it's rainy, today it's sunny, so we just notice it, we observe it. Yeah? And that's the thing that leads to calm. Just thinking about, I often use this example, digging a hole, you take a shovel and you throw the earth out, yeah? And as long as you shovel, yeah, there will be a hole, yeah? If you stop and look, where's the hole, and you haven't taken out the earth, there's no hole. Well, yesterday there was a hole, yeah? But today it's gone. Huh? So, what do we do to get the hole? We shuffle. And each time, we return back to the breath, that is what's digging out the earth. Yeah? And the more often you do it, just go back to the breath. Don't be interested how the things are. Be interested that you're with the Buddha or with the breath. Okay? It takes time. Yeah. You're so impatient. Yeah? The older we get, the more impatient we are. Huh? It has to work, on the first day, yeah? Or at least after 3 days. Yeah?
On walking,
yeah.
So for these past 2 days, I've been trying to determine myself to, before every path I make a determination, and then every turn I check it. But then what I realize, as time goes by, there is hardly or very rare one path without any slips.
Yeah.
That's good. It's very, almost everyone, it's very difficult. Even for one path, it's very difficult.
Yeah. And that you shouldn't be worried about if it slips or if it doesn't slip. Just know that it slipped or know that it doesn't slip. Yeah. It takes time.
When we turn,
yeah.
we check slip or taps or not. Should we stop only checking whether it slips or not,
yeah.
or should we recall the reason?
No. Don't. Just know it slipped, and then the longer you walk, you know exactly where it slipped.
Yeah.
It comes up, yeah, and it doesn't matter, yeah. You just want to know it slipped, and you just want to determine this path. Yeah? And then you very carefully, and then you turn around, oh, it slipped there. Okay, now this part. And that, if you really do it like this, concentration comes very easily. But if you start thinking, why did it slip? You're off. There's no more concentration because you start thinking. Just know it slipped or it didn't slip. And the longer you do it, you know exactly where it slipped. And sometimes you know it also, the thought, that came up, and that you fall. But don't worry about it, just know slipped or not slipped, and this part. Okay? Yeah?
Another question. Usually after a retreat, when I go back to the daily life, and then I will feel some dizziness, like maybe some days it depends. But it's like I feel it's a bit difficult to how to say. It feels dizzy, I think. And then sometimes it takes. I feel that I become slower in thinking, so it takes time for me to get back to the normal.
Yeah, of course. That's the effect of your practice. Don't think. For most of the things you don't have to think. If you go back to the world, before you do anything, you just look at your heart. What does your heart want? The heart has its own faculty to think, It doesn't need the brain, Of course the brain is slow, it doesn't matter. Why do you need to rush? Because the killing says, So leave them out, do things slowly. People, when I started meditation, and I was just coming out of my sitting meditation, and somebody called me, my voice was so slow that they always knew, oh, did you just do meditation? And it doesn't matter. You don't have to be fast. Why? What else is there to do? And you will soon, because doing these things slowly will keep that calm that we acquired in our meditation retreat. And that makes us feel happy or peaceful. In the moment you start, this calm is gone instantly. So keep that calm as long as possible. So do things slowly. What is there? Where is the rush to do this? Just a case of now I want to do everything. Okay? Just keep the calm. If you want to travel to the next place, just go to the bus station or wherever it is, and then slowly look, where's the bus to that? And then you wait for the next bus or you wait for the airplane or whatever. Why do we need a lot of thinking? We think we need to think it all over. But actually, thinking doesn't solve these problems. The desires still come up, You see something and you want it, You see ice cream and you want to eat it, you don't have to think about it. And then you can, because the chitta is calm, then you can decide, do I really want it or don't I want it? Because if you're constantly in thinking, you just take it. So it's a very good effect, That's actually why we do the meditation, to make life, calmer and quieter, more peaceful. Okay?
I tried for this past few days doing the correction. So the first time I only do it once at night and it doesn't work. It's too tired and you just want to sleep. So I tried twice again. In the mid-afternoon and then night before sleep. And for some parts, it is really just what you say. It's like a movie is being played in a faster speed, maybe 2 or 3 times. So you you just saw yourself moving here and there. Everything so vivid, including with the background. Some parts is very detailed.
Yeah.
But usually during the meditation, it's always like a block. It's like, okay, I just know this is meditation.
Just notice, I mean, if it's a block, yeah, just notice how you started and how you ended. What happened during the meditation, yeah, it will come, yeah, through practice more and more and more, it will also come. But it's not so important, I mean, in the beginning, I mean, I just didn't like, to go and sit there. You will know that, yeah? And then you see that as a result of this, non-determination in the beginning, your meditation becomes very difficult. And that's what we need to know. You just the beginning, the end, and the general feeling of this block. That's enough.
Should we have any expectation on doing this, or we just do it like brushing our teeth?
Yes. Yeah. Things will become much more clearer. And you notice it, certain things become much more clearer that are not clear, when we think about the day. Yeah? When you think about the day, what happened, you don't know anything. Yeah? And especially, it is very helpful when you go out. Yeah? So, learn it here, yeah? And do it every day. And you will surprise, how many stupid things you are doing. Because you don't pay attention to it. But this reflection, really brings it up again and it shows you, I mean, that was completely useless. Right? Just a waste of time or just a waste of energy. Niอะไรอะไรอ๋อทำปั้นใจแล้วไม่ใช่ขอบมันเอากอไผ่เพื่อทำปั้นใจขึ้นร่างกายนี้ไหนอันไหน Have a look what he's pointing at. ไหนอ๋อทางช่องคอมเหรอโอเคเอาได้ขอบโยokay so let's type in okay gets even a nice chunk of fun.
Even big conversation is in Thai.
Yes.
I'm hopeless.
So what was the last bit? The question was answered, wasn't it? Okay. Hans, any questions? Was? Ja, das ist aber nicht so gut, wenn läuft, wie es immer läuft. Nein. Schwierigkeit, nicht Resultate. Die Schwierigkeiten, die hochkommen.
Wenn ich halt in sowas jetzt reingehe, dann passiert eigentlich nur das Gleiche.
Ja?
Der schwierig ist und Müdigkeit, Teufel kommt dann irgendwie dann, ich muss mich dann halt immer wieder, ich konzentriere mich sehr stark dann halt auf das Foto und auf die Atmung und den Träumen und Vorstellungen kommen, Gefühle, alles dann das untersuche ich nicht.
Richtig.
Und darauf,
Wie viele Stunden machst du bisher?
7 Stunden.
Jetzt musst du aber noch ein bisschen hochschrauben. Je mehr du das hochschraubst, umso mehr Schwierigkeiten oder Hindernisse wirst du sehen. Und je länger du eine Meditationssitzung machst, umso mehr wirst du diese Hindernisse sehen. Das siehst du, was dich regiert. Ja? Du willst das, ne? Du willst dich jetzt hinsetzen und endlich mal Ruhe im Karton haben und dann kommen die Kinder und machen da Tohu Wabohu. Ja? Und das sind die genau, die dich ständig unter Druck haben. Ne? Das sind deine Befehlshaber, ne? Die dir ständig befehlen, das zu tun, jenes zu tun, das ist nicht schön, jenes ist schön und so weiter und so fort. Und die sieht man, je länger man die Meditation macht und je mehr stimmt man, umso klarer sieht man. Und deswegen, ne, will ich dich schon, dass du solltest mindestens 10 Stunden, ne, pro Tag machen. Ja? Also wenn du zum Goenka-Retreat gehst, sind das 10 Stunden, ne, die du da machst. Und nicht so lange schlafen. Ne? Ja. Okay. Understood, Michelle? So, any more questions? Yeah.
So in these 3 weeks, I'm focusing on getting calm first. I'm not doing any investigation. But when will be the right time to start doing investigation? Should we wait until we experience at least upachara samadhi, or how do we practice it when we go there?
Yeah, I mean through your daily reflection, it's already starting investigation. Looking at it, just observing, not judging. What you can do every time, even if you're on a retreat, take half an hour, and just think about, body is born, the body gets old, the body gets sick, the body dies. Yeah? Just look at your life, from now you're 30, what happened, 28, 27, 26, 25, just go back, just try like in this reflection that you do daily. Now we make a reflection about our life. Yeah? Just very objective. Yeah? What happened? Certain things come up. Yeah? When I was 25, what happened? Certain things come up. Yeah? Just look at it. But I wouldn't do it more than 1 hour per day. Real investigation start. We can start that. But also, we start only with 1 hour or maximum 2 hours. When we get into upachara, you can stay in upachara for at least 15 minutes. When the mind doesn't deviate from the object that it's concentrating on. Because we need to concentrate on an object, like you need to do also in your reflection. You need to concentrate on one thing. Yeah? And if the mind goes off, it goes in, why did I do this? That's not what reflection is about. Just to see, just like you said in movie. Yeah? Just like see what happens. Yeah? Okay, as a general. Yeah? And once the mind gets calm, once you can go into upachara samadhi very easily, then you start to do more and more investigation. But you always have to be a level where you can, every day, where you can recharge the batteries in upachara samadhi. Yeah? If that is gone, the mind becomes restless and it starts to think about it, and that's not what investigation is. And when you do investigation, you start already doing investigation of pain. What is pain? And that is already investigation. And then you start with the outside of the body. Whatever goes onto the body we like, whatever comes out of the body we dislike. Why? What's the difference? Yeah? Just think about, we have this pickle in our mouth for 24 hours. We put it in our hand, and 5 minutes later we will... Huh? Things about this, just the outside. Yeah? We like to eat, but we don't like to look at the shit. Yeah? These things, these short reflection you can do every day. But not too long, as I said. Yeah? The main interest is now to get calm. Okay?
What about the investigation
only if it comes up outside of the meditation, but don't spend too much time on it. Yeah? Feel the anger. I mean, recall the situation, feel the anger, accept the anger, and then start to look what is behind it. You can't think about it, what is behind it. You have to see it. It's just like in the reflection, for this, we go back one step. What came before this anger? Yeah? What came before this? What came before that? What came before that? Until we find the stone. Yeah? Anger is like an avalanche. It's a little stone, that falls in the snow and rolls down. With each roll, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until we feel it. Actually, it already arises. There's a very slight movement of the chitta, that just this light, and then comes another memory, and then it builds up and builds up and builds up until we feel it. Yeah, but it starts much earlier. And to this point, where the stone is dropped, to this point we have to come, and then we really understand where the anger comes from. Before that, we will not see it.
Usually, if I wake up on a reason, it comes back to the self, like protecting the self.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the things that I do is like, okay, it's for myself. So, and then, I start to question then why do I protect myself so much? And then, but then I don't know the answer.
I will protect myself.
Like everything comes back, everything must be the best for me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That is, every being,
Yeah.
be it animal, be it human, be it, be it healthy, be it deva, they always think about themselves. Yeah? Just ask them. Yeah? A good question is, what is self? If you protect something, that means what you protect should be something constant. So, then look at your life, how you were 5 years ago, yeah? What did you think? What were kind of memories? How was your body? How were you feeling? Yeah? So, and then look at your life, and then you see there's no red line. There's no self. This is something, if you see you protecting something, ask yourself, what am I protecting? There is nothing like self. Just ask questions that you cannot comprehend, you cannot think the answer. Am I protecting my body? My body is going to die. Am I protecting feelings? The feelings are going to die. Or you can use, you don't have to use anatta. In this case, you can use anicca, impermanent. Feelings arise and feelings go. So, how can I protect them? Impossible. Memories come and memories go. How can I protect them? They have their own dynamic. Yeah? The body grows old, it's born, it grows old, and it dies. Can you protect it? See. So what are you protecting? Feelings, memory, thoughts, you can't protect them because they have their own dynamic. Yeah? And this is something, you can make yourself, you can make it clear to yourself. What am I protecting? 5 years ago I was a completely different person. Now I'm a different person. 10 years ago I was a different person. What do I want to protect? Yeah? Maybe then the answer pops up. Yeah? Not a thought, an answer pops up. You have to ask these questions, yeah, until an answer from the heart pops up. Just ask what am I protecting. When self comes up, it's a thought. Yeah? Then ask what is self. Yeah? And then another answer comes up, and then ask what is that. Yeah? Until there's no more answer coming from the mind, and maybe an answer from the heart pops up. And then you know. And that is different, than thinking. Because thinking can be, we can think this, and we can think instantly, we can think the opposite. Yeah? With the heart, it's not. The heart knows or it doesn't know. If the heart knows, you can't contradict it. If you think it, you can contradict it. And it instantly changes. Ja?
Darf ich noch eine Frage stellen?
Ja, natürlich.
Geht es nochmal um den Umgang mit Ärger und Wut?
Ja,
Das Akzeptieren,
ja,
das Wahrnehmen,
ja.
Akzeptieren und dann aber sich nicht jetzt da reinsteigern.
Nein.
Also wenn ich jetzt
Du musst, mit dem Akzeptieren, musst du beim Buddha bleiben oder beim Arzt. Du darfst, Gedanken sind ist das Holz ins Feuer. Oder es ist Öl auf das Feuer. Du darfst dabei nicht denken. Du musst dir den Ärger anschauen.
ohne zu denken, zu analysieren.
Ohne zu analysieren. Weil analysieren führt ja nicht zum Denken. Und Denken löst keine Probleme. Du musst dir das anschauen. Und dann, das ist genau, was ich hier gerade eben erzählt habe. Und dann zurückgehen. Was kam denn vor dem Ärger? Was kam davor? Was kam davor? Oder du kannst dir, wenn du es nicht weißt, kannst du nur einfach, warum tue ich mir das an? Das ist doch ein unangenehmes Gefühl. Muss ich doch. Da gibt es viele, viele verschiedene Möglichkeiten, wie ich damit umgehen kann. Aber das erste Grundprinzip ist, dass wir das Gefühl akzeptieren müssen. Und da muss man, um das Gefühl akzeptieren zu können, müssen wir bei unserem Buddha bleiben oder bei dem Atem bleiben. Und dann wirst du sogar manchmal sehen, dass solange du bei deinem Buddha bleibst, der Ärger verpufft einfach. Dann kommt Gedanke, Erinnerung wieder hoch und dann wusch geht es wieder hoch. Ja? Und dann bleibst du bei dem Buddha und dann wusch geht es wieder hoch. Ja? Und dann machst du das so oft, bis es nur noch ganz langsam hochgeht. Ja? Und dann schaust du dir die Situation an, was kam davor, was kam davor, was kam davor.
Für mich ist es so, ich kann das nicht, da gibt es keinen davor. Das kann ich gar nicht erkennen.
Ja, deswegen trainieren wir unseren Geist. Ha? Jetzt überleg dir mal, der Geist ist so schnell wie heißt der Intercity Express oder der ICE. Ne? Der fährt teilweise mit 400 Stundenkilometer. Wenn du mit 5 Kilometer daran vorbeiläufst, dann siehst du nichts hinzu. Wenn du jetzt anfängst zu laufen und dieselbe Schnelligkeit hast wie der ICE, dann siehst du, wer im Wagen ist. Ja? Was der tut im Wagen. Ja? Ja, wir müssen den Geist so schnell machen, dass wir jede einzelne mit Schritt mithalten kann. Weil wenn du den ICE anschaust, wusch, ja, fliegt er vorbei. Ja? Und du siehst nichts, und du siehst vielleicht ein bisschen Farbe und vielleicht siehst du ein paar Waggons, ne? Aber wenn der anfängt zu rennen, ne, dann wird ja der Zug automatisch langsamer, weil du ja die Schnelligkeit dir erwirbst. Ne? Und je schneller der Geist wird oder je schneller du rennst, ne, je schneller der Geist ist, ne, ja, umso mehr siehst du. Und dann kriegst du das mit.
Aber wir versuchen natürlich zu entschleunigen.
Nein, wir versuchen den Geist so schnell zu machen, dass er jede einzelne Scheibe, ne, oder Geistesminute oder Geistesmillisekunde dabei ist. Und das heißt, den Geist schnell zu machen. Dass er nicht mehr abweichen kann.
Konzentration, Aufmerksamkeit.
Richtig. Immer wieder zurück, immer wieder zurück, immer wieder zurück. Ne? Und wenn der Geist nicht rausgeht, ne, dann kann er auch nichts anstellen. Ne? Das heißt, den Geist schneller zu machen, ne? Oder die Achtsamkeit zu erhöhen. Ne? Je höher die Achtsamkeit ist, umso mehr kriegst du mit. Das ist ja nur ein Vergleich. Ne? Okay? So, any more questions?
In Samadhi, is the mind concentrated without really nothing pops up. I mean, sometimes when we are doing meditation, the awareness about the object is still there, but we realize there is something trying to take over, but and then since we realize it's just cannot.
Yes, that's right.
In Upachara, is there really isolated or it's
it is? I mean, it is solid. Yeah, I mean, you can stay, but you will still see, somebody is knocking at the door. Yeah, but you're not. And at the moment, you're still in Upachara Samadhi. You know somebody is knocking at the door, on the sense door, but you know you're not interested. The moment you slowly go out, then you get interested. What is knocking on the door? Yeah? But while you're in, I mean, you see and hear everything, but you're not interested. It's so far away. Yeah? I mean, it's knocking there, over there. You just hear it. But you're not interested because you're safe. You feel safe. Yeah? But if you still have to, to go back and go back and go back, I mean, that's where you're not yet entered, really.
Kind of, we see, hear everything, but still with the anapana overflow.
Yeah, we are still with the anapana, or we're still with the Buddha. We know things happening, but we know also we're not interested. We love this quietude. Yeah? And the quietude or the peacefulness is so strong that it holds us there. Yeah? The moment this quietude or peacefulness goes, then of course we get more interested in the outside.
Yeah, because I can direct my idea, and I get all sensation, so I feel sometimes I can direct to sometimes hearing or sometimes feeling. It's kind of.
Yeah,
but still not. Yeah. I tried because I can go to.
Of course, we can go anywhere where we want to go. Yeah, but that's not the point. The chitta doesn't want to go because it's not interested. The chitta is so interested about the breath. It is just satisfied. That's when we are in Upachara. We are satisfied. And when we come out of Upachara, we feel refreshed and we feel concentrated. Our concentration is much better. Yeah? That is the sign when we have been in Upachara.
Yeah, 2 days I was kind of practicing. My voice came down, and I'm feeling to talk. It's very painful and
of course. I mean, why should I talk to somebody? It's just too much stress. Yeah? If it's not necessary. Really, what is? You like to talk, or? Yeah, just keep with the Buddha, or just keep with the breath until you just see that the chitta wants to go out, but it doesn't yet go out. Of course, I mean, the kilesas want to know everything, what is going on. The more it knows, yeah.
Evening I had a kind of.
What? You have to speak up.
I had go through my whole life.
Yeah.
And even to the things I have forgotten, I came to my mind. Then question faced me, and this question came a few times to me. Today is kind of strong. There is one going. I go back here a few times here and there. And then I went to university, and before that to school, from that house to this house, and then road to this road, and then I came up to this idea. There is someone who is going on to every place. My body has changed, everything has changed, but
everything has what?
I mean, my mother not the same like the one before, and even myself, the body and everything I knew has changed, but there is someone who was not changed.
Yeah. And this something you have to find, because that is sati, that is the chitta, that is the knowing that has not changed, but not not the knowingness that knows object, it is the deep knowing. That never changes.
And I kind of compare with the
But everything else changes. Whatever we perceive is going to change.
Yeah, I understood it's not going to change even when the world destroyed. When Buddha started this journey, I was somewhere else, but still I am here.
Yeah. I mean, don't think so much. Just go. Yeah. Just go more. I mean, don't let the chitta go out. And why don't you use it with your own pata? Huh?
No, yesterday is kind
So
of actually, it happens a few times because when you went to the Bantan previous time also, I was kind of also pata. So when you go out and then came out, kind of, I am lost always.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Then ask yourself, or look at the situation, why you're lost in this. Huh? It's only your thought that makes you lost. If you don't think, that just is. The world just is as it is. Yeah?
Yeah, because yesterday I was feeling, when I was a child, my mother left my home, me in home, but she born.
Yeah, but what is it? I mean, does it change anything? Huh? Ask yourself, when I think about this, does it change anything? It changes nothing. Yeah? I mean, you can't help your mother because you're 3,000 miles away. No matter, even if you know that she's breaking her leg, or even if you know that she's, suddenly dying or going to die, there's nothing you can change. Yeah? You can't. Yeah? I mean, if she sits there, yes, of course you can help her. Yeah? But if she's 3,000 miles away, how can you help her? How can you help anybody? You can't even help yourself. Yeah? Okay? เข้าใจบ้างไหมไม่ครับแล้วมีคำถามไหมไม่ครับโอเคเลิกกันfinish or do you have any pressing questions or two from Indonesia? No. Okay, let's finish. เจ็บปวดไหมนิดหน่อยก็เป็นชั่วโมงเดียว